One day I was thinking about when Sebastien Loeb got to test an F1 car, and my first thought was that how many other WRC drivers have gotten this chance. But then I looked at the question from the opposite side and started to think how many F1 drivers have ever driven a rally car. I started doing some digging and it turns out the list is quite long, so this is gonna come out in two parts. Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas has driven quite a lot of rallies for a guy that is an active F1 driver. He has entered 4 rallies in the last 3 years, and also tested with M Sport and Toyota to try the current generation WRC cars. His speed isn't that bad considering his small experience with rally driving. His best finish on a proper rally is 5th in Lapland in 2019. He also won a rally in France in 2019, but that rally was organized on a circuit, so pace notes weren't that important there. I wouldn't be surprised if Valtteri chooses to take on the WRC after his career in F1 is over, or even during his career, which would be hardcore, but we would still welcome him with open arms. Carlos Sainz Jr. Well, this is quite an obvious one. The Sainz family has a rally stage literally in their backyard, so it isn't a big surprise that Jr. has a lot of experience with rally driving. But the funny thing is that he's never actually competed in a rally. But watching some promo videos where he races against his father on gravel stages, it's quite obvious that he has been on this stuff quite a lot. When his father is competing in Dakar, Junior is also helping his father with strategy every day. His only actual rally involvement was in 2018 when he drove the last 2 stages as a safety car in Monte Carlo. When asked about his rallying experience, Sainz said, "I enjoy it a lot, and every time I can, I try and put myself in a rally car and go for it. It might not change you, might not make you better, but for sure it doesn't make you worse. It's something that gives me a good feeling. It's good fun, and it could actually make me have a better car feeling and better car handling." Heikki Kovalainen. Heikki Kovalainen drove for 6 years in F1 and won 1 Grand Prix while finishing on the podium another 4 times. He got to test Sebastien Loeb's WRC car in 2007 when Loeb tried his Formula 1 car. Kovalainen's next chance came in 2015 when he entered the Lapland Rally with a Ford Fiesta R5 and finished 6th, losing under a second per kilometer, which is actually really good and almost won a stage if it weren't for Karakruda. In 2016, he continued his rallying in Japan. I know you're thinking, how weird, but he was signed by Lexus for the Super GT series in 2015. Lexus is owned by Toyota, and it seems that Toyota wished for him to drive the Japan Rally Championship as well. He had entered 13 rallies in Japan between 2016 and 2021 with the GT86 and has won his class 4 times, so not bad. Sir Stirling Moss. One of the best racing drivers ever, has also quite a resume in rally stages. Every rally that he ever competed in, he was very competitive. In 1952, 53 and 54, he raced in the Monte Carlo rally, with his best finish being 2nd in 1952. To my knowledge, that was also his first rally ever. Yes, rally driving was quite a bit different back then, but still, it's a huge accomplishment to finish 2nd in Monte Carlo. Sir Moss was also a co-driver on 2 occasions, but retired them both. Alain Prost. The 4-time world champion and arguably one of the best F1 drivers ever, has also put his skills to the test in a rally car. After his F1 career, he competed in ice races, but when his F1 career was just taking off, Prost took part in Rally du Var in 1982 with Renault and the Group B 5 Turbo. His car was covered with Marlboro branding and looked amazing, but that didn't help him particularly in the forest, with Prost crashing out of the rally and leaving his car in a ditch, which is most un-Prost-like. That would also be his only rally. Kimi Räikkönen. After winning the title in 2007, Kimi was replaced by Fernando Alonso for the 2010 season, even though his contract with Ferrari ended at the end of 2010. There were talks of him going to McLaren or Mercedes, but no deal was found, and in the end Kimi decided to take on the WRC. Prior to 2010, he had some experiences in rallying, driving the Abarth Punto S2000 on some local Finnish events and crashing the car in WRC Rally Finland in 2009. In 2010, he upgraded to a Citroën C4 WRC and people really didn't know what to expect. I remember there were quite high hopes for tarmac rallies, where indeed he performed better, but he was still far off the top 3. On average, he lost a second per kilometer to the winner, and finished 10th in the standings in 2010 and in 2011, with his best ever finish being 5th at Rally Turkey in 2010. Now the other way around. Sebastien Loeb. The unstoppable force of Sebastien Loeb has had a number of F1 tests. His first test came in 2007, when he tested for Renault at Paul Ricard. When Red Bull became a major sponsor for Citroen's WRC team, Loeb was rewarded a drive with the 2008 Red Bull Racing Spec RB4 for winning the 2008 WRC title. He first drove the car in Silverstone, and then took part in the official Formula 1 winter test in Barcelona. He was 8th quickest out of the 18 drivers, which impressed the Red Bull F1 team. In 2009, when a fellow Frenchman, Sebastien Bourdais, was struggling with pace in Toro Rosso, Loeb told newspapers that he's interested in replacing Bourdais and intended to make his debut at the 2009 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with a full switch to F1 coming in 2010. But his plan was put in the bin when the FIA didn't grant him the super license necessary for F1 because he had no experience in circuit racing. Sebastien Ogier. In July 2017, Ogier had a chance to test the Red Bull Racing RB7 for 60 laps at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. The car was fitted with traction control because it was a demo car, but as the day went on, Sebastien turned the traction control down until he completely turned it off, saying that he wanted to feel the real F1 car, and called it interesting how nervous the car felt without traction control and how smooth and gentle you have to be with the throttle. He also mentioned that getting the feel for the car was more difficult because the F1 chassis is so stiff, while in the WRC you have a lot more chassis movement. Hope you enjoyed our list, and give us your thoughts in the comments on which WRC driver from history you would like to see in an F1 car.